This is Two Chicks Talkin Flicks, where we review movies. Love them or hate them, someone's got to do it. So enjoy the show. Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm April.
And this is Two Chicks Talkin Flicks.
And anything else that gets in the mix.
So, April,
yes?
do we have a guest today?
What, do we?
Do we? Is there anybody there?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How are y'all?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Ready to roll.
Yes. Well, everybody, this is our friend JJ. And you are a movie fan.
Huge movie fan. Yes, I am.
What's the new latest movie you've seen?
The latest movie I've seen was Ant-Man and the Wasp. Quantumania.
Oh, we haven't seen that yet. We're planning on it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is it worth it?
I think I know a lot of the critics dogged it a little bit, but I think the audience likes it more than the critics. I didn't have a problem with it. I thought it was fine. It has me really excited though about the future and the big villain Kang. So pretty excited.
Plus it has Paul Rudd. So I mean,
yeah, he's a doll. I love Paul Rudd. So it wasn't bad. It was fine. I enjoyed it.
Critics don't like anything that's actually entertaining.
It's true.
Yeah, man, I was like, I don't have to go that hard on this movie. Like, it was fine. It was entertaining, and I didn't mind it at all. I really didn't. I like Ant-Man though, so
I love Ant-Man, and I know I'm gonna love that movie.
Yeah, it was fun, and the effects were crazy. I had debated to watch it in 3D. I was going back and forth about it, and I was like, I don't know, but I kind of regret it. I kind of want to watch it now in 3D.
Okay, I think we should experience it in 3D.
Yeah, for sure.
But I wear glasses. It's just not conducive.
Well,
oh man.
Well, I'm gonna go without you with my contacts.
No, that was gonna be our big foray into movies this year. April. Her need for 3D is coming between us.
Listen, I regret not watching Doctor Strange in 3D. Like I had so many people tell me, like, oh yeah, it's so good. It's so good. Not one of them told me you need to see this in 3D. Huh. And then I'm watching it and I'm like, why didn't anybody tell me?
Yeah.
I never would have guessed to see that in 3D neither, but I think that'd be so trippy. Mm-hmm. I think Ant-Man and the Wasp would be trippy in 3D too, but I just feel like that's an experience that needs to be had, it was just the effects were too cool not to at least, check it out in 3D. Yeah.
Well, good.
Well, what's the worst movie you've seen this year?
The worst this year? It's a tough one.
Well,
I'll just say.
Oh, okay.
I'll say the so far the worst, probably one of the worst movies I've seen was probably Magic Mike.
Really?
Wow. The last day. So upset. They tried to make it out to be like this love story, and I'm just like, no one's here for that. No one cares. Bring on the male strippers. Bring on the naked guys. Where are they? I was so upset because I was like, cool. You want to do a whole storyline about it, like the rich woman and the broke man falling. It's just like no one cares about that. We just want to see some naked men on the stage dancing. That's all I was looking to see, but. No, they tried to, and the story really wasn't that great, so it was.
I promise you, I have a worse movie than that, and I haven't even seen Magic Mike.
Oh, which one?
I picked The Munsters on Netflix.
God.
It was so bad. We didn't even finish watching it. That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, what's the Munsters? What is that about?
Like the Munsters TV show, they decided to modernize it a little bit and put it on it was just a movie. Thank goodness. Yeah, can you imagine if it were a TV show? Oh, it was so bad.
Well, good thing it's on Netflix and you didn't have to pay money for it.
Yes.
You're paying for Netflix, but you didn't have to put in extra bucks.
Well, I listened to True Crime and Cocktails with Lauren Ash. She's on a couple TV shows and stuff. Mm-hmm. And she turned 40 and her and a big group of her friends went to Vegas like a couple weekends ago. And they went, I'm pretty sure they saw Thunder Down Under. Not entirely positive, but from their description of what the guys were wearing and stuff, I'm pretty sure it's Thunder Down Under. And plus, they didn't seem like Chippendales kind of ladies. And so I was like, man, I'm turning 40. I was like, I wonder if Magic Mike is coming on tour like in Dallas at some point. And they are. It's in April.
Really?
Yes. And I was like, oh, I kind of want to see that.
I'm down.
Wow. Yeah. I'm kind of, I got to, a few years ago, actually, at my old radio station, I got to interview a couple of Chippendale dancers and got to go check out their show. They really get into it. They love it. Oh, and more power to them. I'm like, do y'all, man. Y'all are killing it. Because it was actually a good, entertaining show. They know how to work the crowd. And so,
me and my friend,
they're some good looking guys.
Yeah, me and my friend went to Vegas, just her and I, and we went and saw Thunder Down Under. And I was like, but we kind of have to see Chippendales just to like see which was better. Yeah, compare.
Right.
And there was this one guy that like he came down and he like touched my chest.
Ooh.
He ripped off his shirt and threw it at me. And he was packing. But it was like a pencil, if that.
Okay.
And it was just flopping every time he danced or do anything. It was just like really going to town. It was.
They are not afraid.
No,
they will strip all the way down.
Everybody else seemed like they had it well tucked. This monster slim pencil was just out there just
doing its thing.
Yeah. And at one point it was in my face and I was just like, get out of here. So that was fun.
I saw the show, The Thunder Down Under, but I didn't know what it was like beforehand. Like
did you take your mom and grandma? Like let's have a girls' night out.
It was for my birthday. We went to Vegas. We went to the Gwen Stefani show. And then, because it's Friends, different people are doing different inputs. And somebody mentioned, the Thunder Down Under. And I'm that person that we have the one friend in the group that likes to plan stuff. So we just let her plan stuff. And so then, I just went with the itinerary that was scheduled and we were going to go to the Thunder Down Under. I was like, oh, okay. And it wasn't until we got there that I was like, oh, okay.
So you want to know what I found out that they don't like at Thunder Down Under?
What?
They don't like when you put money in their pockets. I didn't know that. I thought it was like, I never been to one of those
Why didn't
places
you
before.
Read the room and see what others were doing?
I don't know. I was drinking.
I thought that was literally the purpose of what they were doing.
Right? And so he came by and I put some money in his pocket and he was like, whoa, no, we don't do that. And I was like, well, there you go.
You offended him.
Oh no, he was fine with it.
But I'm sure it's rules. Yeah. Like you can't tip people,
Well, you're not supposed to touch them.
Oh,
that was the main thing.
Yeah.
It's not like I drug my hand down their skin and like shoved it in his pockets.
You were taking liberties.
I just put it like discreetly in his like waistband.
Yeah, they're serious about the rules. Like if they grab your hand to touch them, and that's fine. Yeah. I don't think you can reach and grab them though. So
they're lame. No,
they're particular about their rules.
But we should definitely go see Magic Mike live.
Hey, I'm down.
I'm down too.
And maybe Channing would make an appearance.
Right?
I doubt that, but okay.
I will say this. He still got it.
Oh yeah.
I'll say this. He still can move.
I'm still gonna go see it.
Impressive.
I'm sad that I haven't seen it yet, but I'm still gonna go see it.
I didn't even know they toured.
Yeah, well, I meant the movie, but
okay. I thought he.
Yeah, he's had that show for some years now. I didn't know it was still going on though, but yeah, I think he's had that Magic Mike show for a while. Since probably like the second one came out, probably.
All right. So we
completely changing the topic now.
So we asked you what your favorite like childhood movie was, and you let us know that it's Cinderella, but specifically the 1997 made for TV
Rodgers and
movie.
Hammerstein.
Cinderella.
Yes.
I was so excited when Sarah gave the options. I was like, Cinderella.
Well, we've already seen Ever After. We've seen the Hilary Duff Cinderella, and we've seen the Camila Cabello Cinderella, and
There's
now
so
we've
many.
seen this.
There's so many different versions of this.
One of my favorites is actually the Selena Gomez version.
I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, I really like that one.
Ugh.
I remember when this one came out, when it premiered on ABC. And I remember really liking it.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you guys, I did not enjoy this. Now, before I continue, I will say we got a brand new puppy. And we were very distracted while watching this movie. So I could only really hear it instead of like watch it. And the songs go on forever. And they use the same song
It's a musical.
the whole time, but get different songs.
It's interesting because my problems with the film was more visual. Like the castle, like when you see it up on the hill, I was like, that is a janky ass special effect castle. You know?
Well, then you have to remember too the time period. We're talking 1997. I know it's under Disney and you kind of got to remember the time period because I know it was a little. It could come off as a little corny, cheesy. Some of the special effects graphics, but
and then I didn't care for like the special effects sparkles that they added to Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
Like it was just like some of them were okay, but then some of them were just distracting.
I mean, it had a stellar cast though.
Oh, yes. I completely forgot that Whoopi Goldberg was in this or
Jason Alexander
was in it. Yeah.
And he was probably like one of the biggest theme sellers, outside of, Brandy and Whitney. I think he was probably one of my favorite characters.
Yes.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, I actually made a note that said Jason Alexander, hilarious.
Yes.
When I was younger, I thought the prince was so hot.
Yeah.
I loved him. Now, mind you,
still is.
He isn't ugly, but like he wasn't given like he was when I was a kid.
My thing is they have all this star-studded cast, and then they have a guy I never heard of, and he's hardly been in anything.
And I was going to say, I was like, what happened to this guy?
Yeah.
Like, he's so good looking. He can sing, but he just like disappeared. Like, I don't know where, and I have no idea. I mean, I don't know if maybe it was Broadway.
Maybe. Like, kudos to them in 1997 having such a diverse cast. That's really awesome.
It did remind me a lot of the
Bridgerton.
Well, the Cabello version.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because that was
But
really
this is like
too.
97.
I know this film was like the first film that no one ever questioned a white dad, a black mom, and an Asian kid.
Right?
No.
No one ever questioned that. Yeah. And now you're thinking about like, man, they really pulled this off. That was crazy.
Yeah, like when I was watching that, I really did think it's like, oh my gosh, this is what films are doing right now. And they did it back then. And it's like, why didn't this happen sooner? Like obviously this movie opened doors for that, but it was like on pause, Now
let's think, 1997, who would have been like a singing guy they could have had in this movie versus this dude?
I'm okay with an unknown.
Well, I know. I'm just surprised they have Brandy, they have Whitney, they have Whoopi, they have Jason Alexander, Bernadette Peters.
Face it. He got paid the least amount of money.
Oh, probably.
They ran out of money by the time they got to him.
You know what? Probably Brandy got paid less. Like, I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, no. I probably one of the highest paid, I think.
You would think.
For sure.
You would hope.
She's the face. Yeah.
Wait, did she have the Moesha show then? Because if it was she did.
Okay, she did. It was running by then. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she was already kind of taken off musically, like in the music. And so, yeah, I'm not going to say she was probably balling. I'm sure Whoopi Goldberg was a good little paycheck. But, yeah, I think because she was the face that they definitely, threw out some meals for her.
Yeah.
So
I couldn't think of anybody who would be the male singing back then.
I'm trying to think like
that was young and diverse.
Doesn't even have. Well, I'm.
Didn't Leonardo DiCaprio do a musical back then or something?
Oh my god!
I don't think he can sing. Can he?
No, I could have sworn he did like a musical.
I don't remember that.
I thought that Romeo and Juliet. That wasn't a musical though, was it? The Romeo and Juliet.
No. It had great music.
Okay. Well, I thought that I could have sworn. But yeah, I can't think of anybody.
I'm just racking my brain. I can't think of anybody either.
Yeah.
Like, all I can think about are like boy bands.
Yes, that's what I was thinking
True,
too.
yeah.
And I'm trying to think of like
Joey Lawrence is the only name that kept like popping in my head. But he can
like
sing.
who are the hottest guys like back then? Like obviously somebody from NSYNC or Backstreet Boys.
Well, I was thinking like
Jonathan Taylor
yes,
Thomas.
that's exactly what I was thinking. But I was like, he doesn't sing, and he's short.
He didn't even sing in Lion King.
No,
he didn't.
That's not him singing.
Oh,
that's not him.
I'm so disappointed.
Right?
Yeah, it's another kid that did the music for that. But I can't think of anybody.
You know who probably would have been perfect and he can sing?
Who?
James Vanderbeek.
Oh,
I mean, I'm just saying in that time frame.
I never liked him.
Like if they were going to have an up and coming person, like he would have been perfect.
He actually looks better now than he did back then.
But he looks very like Prince Charming-y. He has that like Disney look about him.
I'm okay that they had this Asian dude.
Oh no, I'm happy that they have him. I'm just surprised with all the rest of the cast that they had this unknown dude and then he's not done anything.
And maybe that's what they were really going for too.
Could be.
Like
giving people a chance.
Kind of his breakout, yeah.
They could have wanted Brandy to be the big star.
True.
Yep, that too.
So this has always perplexed me, and I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but as soon as I saw this evil stepmom, I thought it was Helen Bonham Carter.
Same with the curly wavy hair. I was thinking like Harry Potter.
I can definitely see that.
I get her and Bernadette Peters mixed up constantly. They look so much alike to me, and they kind of do
that same eye twitch too.
Yes.
Like
they've got it down.
Like
yeah.
When I see one, I'm like, oh, okay, I know what she's been in, and then I see the other, I'm like, oh, okay, I know what she's been in. But if I don't know which one's in the movie, I have no idea which one it is.
Okay, it's not that bad. I just was reminded of her.
Yeah, like as soon as I saw her, I was like, oh, hey, we just saw her in that other movie we watched. And I was like, oh, no, that's a completely different person. And plus one of them's British and one of them's not. So, yeah.
Yeah, I like Helena Bonham Carter.
Me too.
I don't follow Bernadette too much. I think I've seen more of Helena's stuff than Bernadette, but Bernadette Peters was amazing though in this movie.
We just watched Les Mis last week, and so it has Helen Bonham Carter in it. And so as soon as I saw her, I was like, "Oh hey!" And I was like, "Oh no, that's not her. That's Bernadette Peters." The other person, I get confused.
I wonder, do people confuse them in like real life, or if they did in
They're
real life?
Probably not in costume because Helen doesn't naturally keep her hair curly wavy.
But I feel like in every movie her hair is curled.
That's her persona.
That's her stage person.
Yes.
So one thing I find interesting is at the very beginning of the movie when Brandy is with her family walking around the little town and her sisters are trying on that hat and they ask her how it looks. And she's like, oh, I don't like that hat. So she seems like very like
honest?
Honest. She'll tell it like it is. But then later on, I feel like she's so a doormat and dismissive and I don't know.
Well, she kind of said it in a very nice way. I don't think it suits either of you, kind of like
but she started
in a sweet way.
She started off by giving a disclaimer, like I don't really know much about hats. I will say that that opening scene reminded me so much of Beauty and the Beast.
Yes, that's exactly what my sister said. She told me to write it down.
It made me want to watch Beauty and the Beast.
Anytime.
Especially the opening number, Bonjour.
Yes, yes.
Bonjour. Yes, that actually did. Yeah.
I love it. I love Beauty and the Beast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that one too. I'm not particularly, Cinderella isn't actually one of my favorite princesses. I actually is one of the least. But yeah, it's just with this movie because it was groundbreaking and it really hit some, I'm a little African American girl watching like a princess with braids. This is like, wow, so yeah, that's kind of why like this movie really hit and resonated with me as a kid.
One of my very first CDs I ever got was Brandy.
Mm-hmm.
Her very first
so
CD.
For me,
man,
I think this was the first live version of Cinderella that I saw.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, oh my gosh, like you're living in that pretend world. Like, oh, this is what it would be. Because for me, when I watch a film, I'm always the main character. I'm always the villain. I'm always the person with the best parts. Okay. Yeah. And I can switch like in the same film, be like, oh, I'm that person. I'm that person. Mm-hmm. So for me, it was like, oh my God, it's like a fairy tale come true, which now looking back at it, I'm like, this all looks fake. This is a straight up set. This is unbelievable. But like,
yeah, because sorry, go ahead.
But as a kid, it's
so magical.
The make believe world I want to live in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I remember because they had the 25th anniversary not too long ago, like at the end of last year, and they replayed it on TV. And I made my 9-year-old niece sit down and watch it. I said, "You gotta watch this with me. Come on." And she was just like, "I don't want to watch this. That's fake." And I was like, "Okay, little girl, you can get kicked out of my house. Okay, I know it's fake. I know it's okay. It's you gotta just put yourself there in the mindset. Okay, think about what she's gone through. Okay, like she was not having it, but it was definitely like I know it's fake. Okay, just." That's not even a fairy godmother. She has wings. I was like, oh my God.
It's interesting because like my critique on this movie is actually the set. Like looking at it now, when I saw the ballroom dance scene, why was everybody matching the theme?
Right?
Like, first of all, if it were a wedding or something, then it was beautiful. It matches. It's wonderful. But I just feel if they're all going to be wearing like blues, purples, then Brandy should not have been in a blue dress.
Thank you. I wrote the same thing.
If you were going to put her in the blue dress, then everybody else should have been like greens or pinks or something so that I can like, obviously I'm not going to lose her, but like, you know what I mean? Like I didn't like how they were all just so matchy.
Yeah. I put surprise. So many at the ball are in blue. Hard for her to stand out that way.
Yes. Like
I actually didn't mind it. I didn't really mind it. And I thought Brandy's dress was beautiful. I thought blue popped, with anything, out with all those colors around. But I did think it was interesting that the sisters actually wore 2 different colors too than what everybody else wore. But I don't know. I wish I could sit down and talk to the people who decided that. But yeah, I thought it was beautiful, so it didn't really bother me that much. Because I just thought everybody's costumes were gorgeous. But
like if it were a themed party. Yeah. They were on point. If it was a wedding party, it like, don't get me wrong, the dresses were nice and they were pretty, but I'm just so used to like the main character standing out. And of course she did because she's Brandy. I'm not going to lose her, but like I would have liked something to have changed color.
Yeah, I 100% agree because I was like, that's very interesting that they put everybody in. And there was like a couple girls that had almost the exact same colored dress as Brandy. And I was like, that doesn't make sense. Why would they do that? She needs to be able to stand out. Now, her dress is probably one of the best Cinderella dresses that we see.
I did not like, what was it, the 2015 version or whatever?
Really? I really like that one too.
It was too poofy for me.
It was poofy, but the dress itself, how it looked like it just like shined.
I like the shininess, but I just felt it was just too many layers.
And Lily Collins, it looked like she was so tiny. so tiny. I
Yeah.
was just like, Jesus Christ, this girl, get her a burger or something.
Well,
But one thing I do like about that Cinderella, though, is Kate Blanchett. I'm a huge Kate Blanchett fan, so I thought she was a great evil stepmother.
I love her too.
She's great.
I think the best evil mother I've seen though has to be the Camila Cabello one, the Frozen singer.
Oh, Idina Menzel?
Yeah, because I remember like she's mean, and then at the end they have like that little heart to heart, you know, and I'm like, oh, like you're still evil, but at least it was with
you
the
sympathize
best
with her a little bit.
Yeah, you know, like you didn't want her to fall through the same hardships that you did.
Though Coolidge in the Hilary Duff movie, she's always great. I mean, I love her.
She was good. I forget that that's like a Cinderella type story, like because of how different they kind of twisted it some. But yeah, Jennifer Coolidge, you can never go wrong with her.
Yeah.
One thing that I thought of when I saw Brandy when she's first in the dress and she has her hair in the curly tendrils is she reminds me of Tiana.
Oh,
yeah.
From The Princess and the Frog. And I was like, I wonder if they were inspired by this for that.
The same hair.
Yeah, because like she looked, except for the dress itself, she looked exactly like a live action version of what Tiana would look like. And actually, they're making a movie. It should come out this year.
Really?
Yeah, it's a live action Tiana.
My goodness. I'm looking forward to that. So when my friend was getting married about 10 years ago, they had like a wedding collection of princess dresses, and my friend actually got married in the Tiana version.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's so cool.
Yes.
I just went to Disney not too long ago, and so I hung out at Cinderella's castle, and I was wearing a Gus Gus t-shirt.
Oh.
Would I say Cinderella is my favorite? I have to, because every time I try to say that I love Ariel or Little Mermaid or Beauty and the Beast more, I'm like, but I really love Cinderella. So it was my very first VHS I ever got, and I just have to roll with it.
For me, it's going to be Belle.
I do love Belle though, but I love Gus Gus so much.
Yeah, it's either going to be Belle or Pocahontas for me.
I never was a huge fan of Pocahontas.
What?
Yeah, no.
Man, I love that movie.
Actually,
it's so
to be
good.
honest, my favorite Disney princess has to be Aladdin.
Oh my God! Yeah,
I mean, he's the one who came up in life. Okay.
Yeah, that's true. I'll take that back. Yeah, I'm gonna say Aladdin.
He is a Disney princess.
That is true. That is very true. Yeah, my favorite princess itself is actually Belle. But like the movie, I love all three of those movies. They're very close. Plus Aladdin.
I think what does it for me about Belle is the library.
Yes.
And the dancing in that ballroom. It is spectacular.
I love it.
Did you like the live action?
No.
I enjoyed
Emma Watson?
it.
Emma, she was not the right person for
I loved
Belle.
Emma.
No.
I actually liked her too. I thought it was beautifully shot. I thought it was like well put
I
together.
thought it
Great
should have
cast.
been somebody else.
Who would you think would have, or who would you have liked to see?
Off the top of my head, I think if we're staying with Emma's, I feel like Emma Stone would have been a much better Belle.
She looks like Belle.
But she doesn't sing like Belle.
I'm okay with that.
But Belle wasn't the best singer. She
I
mean she hit a note or two,
she
but
looks like her, but I don't think she's that great of an actress, honestly.
I thought she actually looked just like Belle.
I did too.
She did look like her, but I didn't think she is a good actress, or did she sing like her?
I think I loved the live action. My problem was the Beast.
Really?
I did not like his solo, and he is not.
I don't like that either.
He is not the Beast I envisioned.
I did like him. He wasn't what I pictured, but I did like him, and I love his little man, Josh Gad. I can't think of what his character's
my problem
name
was him. My favorite though was Gaston.
Yeah, Gaston. Yeah, I didn't like that his solo song either. I was like, y'all could have left this out. You could have just kept this rolling.
Yeah.
I did like Gaston. I was thinking the guy who played Gaston was the Beast. I don't even know who played the Beast.
Exactly.
The Beast
He's unmemorable.
Agreed. I loved Gaston. That's who I was thinking of. Him and LeFou.
Yes, I love them both.
Speaking of,
his last name is Stevens, I think.
oh yeah, no.
I can't think of his first name.
If you ever go to Disney World, go to Gaston's Tavern, get LeFou's drink. It's really good. It's so good.
Yeah. Dan Stevens is his name. Yeah, Dan
okay.
Stevens. He played the Beast.
Not very memorable, Dan Stevens.
Well, he was a beast for 3/4 of the film.
Not from memorable
That's true.
at all. So let's see here in this movie.
I never realized that Whitney didn't have any wings, but I'm okay with that.
I think that was the dress that kind of gave off that perception of wings. I like that. Like it was.
Yeah.
That was kind of her wings in a way.
Mm-hmm. And I loved her hair and her makeup, everything about her outfit, except the stupid red circle lights that they threw on her. Like I didn't
so cheesy.
Yeah.
I thought the taller stepsister was way too old.
Calliope or whatever. Calliope.
I liked her over the topness though.
Really?
I feel like she was much closer to the cartoon version of her character.
Well, could be, I guess.
I think because she also looked like her, kind of.
She did look like her. Yeah.
And that tall statue. Yeah.
Yeah.
The dumb one.
But
laugh.
the other one, I was like, they did her dirty, making her have lice.
Is that what that was?
I'm assuming it was lice.
I thought it was just like a nervous habit.
Oh.
I think she was just itching because she was nervous. Like she's just like, I get nervous.
Okay.
I get itchy when I'm nervous. I don't think she had lice.
I thought she had lice, and like that's why her mom was scratching too.
I just thought it was a rash or something. Either ways, like it was like dumb.
I thought she was funny. I thought the chemistry with the sisters, how they, especially the song that they did in the garden, was funny. I thought them together were funny. For sure.
I definitely like the shorter one than the taller one. That's for sure.
My favorite line from her is when they're all dancing and they're waiting their turn, and she's like, "Let me have him" or something.
I love how
it's
the
like
song
all quiet.
kept going faster and faster and faster.
That must have been a nightmare to film, but visually it was so awesome to watch.
And okay, did anybody else think this? Probably just me, but Jason Alexander, when he's at the ball and the stepmom or evil mom is talking to him, did he remind you of the Queen's handler from The Princess Diaries?
No, I was getting the vibe from the other movie. Wasn't that movie that we saw? There was another movie where the mom was talking to like the footmen or something. What movie was that?
They definitely did Lionel dirty though. They were just pushing him around, stepping on.
Yeah.
He was getting worried the whole movie. I said, come on, man. You ain't got to do Lionel like that.
Even he got to dance with the prince.
Yeah.
Trying to get them in and out.
Let's see here. I just thought the part where him and Brandy are dancing and singing just went on and on and on. And I was like, okay, geez, move along.
So I actually really enjoyed the dance, not their dancing, but the other dancing right before it, where everyone's just like, I love how the dance went to the beat exactly, and I just loved that part.
Yeah, I liked that part. And I liked them at first when they're dancing together, but it just went, I would say, about 5 minutes too long.
I didn't.
Yeah, I think because they extended it to the garden, kind of like, I guess that was just their way of kind of transitioning them out to the garden by themselves.
Yeah.
I guess that's what they were trying to do there. Because after that, that's where they cut to the sisters and their song. So I can kind of see how it kind of dragged. But it's actually one of my favorite songs in the movie. Is that song when they meet? I think them together sound very good. Yeah.
Well, it's
no, not the one. The one when they first meet, and they start dancing. That song.
Well, it's like one of like 4 songs that they play like 52 times.
I will say that the Wonder song, like, I don't know if you're amazing because you are amazing, or if because I love you so much that's why you're amazing. I was like, that is such a good message to kids. It's like,
it is the first
I'm
time
like 5. That was really deep.
And then when they repeat those lyrics like 5,000 other times.
Well, they have to drill it into the kids. Like, listen, just because you
have to understand.
Yeah.
Like, what is the reason behind it?
I was like, get some other lyrics, please.
No, that's how musicals work, Sarah.
Well, I love a musical, okay?
True.
This is literally our 3rd musical in a row.
Wow,
Well,
it is.
Yeah. I love how we look at it differently when we're older than we do when we're younger.
Yeah.
Because I never thought about those words until like I came back as older, as a woman and re-listened to it. I'm like, oh, okay, like it was a good question. Like maybe we should ask ourselves when we're falling in love. Like, okay.
And also,
it's a little deep.
Yeah, and when they first met, she was like, oh, or some things like, you would probably want somebody who's like nice and prim and does what you say. And he's like, no, I want somebody I can talk to and be my equal.
That's right.
It's like, yeah, you don't want a doormat.
I do feel
Which I think because of when this movie came out, I think that's a huge thing to add in there, because
it's so progressive.
At that time, it's more so likely for that to be said today than it would been back then.
I wonder
for
if
a line
this
like
was
that. I thought that was interesting.
written by a woman.
Let me see.
That would be a good question, because I bet it was.
I think
Maybe
it
directed by
was.
Well, it's written by a guy based
sad.
on guys.
That's sad.
I'm sure they switched a lot of things up though to make it kind of
I'm
more modern, because this was a play back in like the 50s, I think.
I'm
originally.
sure once Whitney and Brandy got on the ticket, they asked for changes.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to say no to Brittany, to Whitney. I would like combine the name.
Brittany. Yeah, because Whitney was a producer, so I'm sure she had a lot to say in what they were going to do with some of the, because I can't see a line like that passing in the 50s.
I just feel like this movie didn't have a lot of meat to it. It was a very quick movie. And,
it was.
And it
was for TV also.
True. I just feel like it was missing something more than it had. And maybe that's why having those repeat songs in there drove me crazy, because it wasn't broken up by any other thing, but I did like the plot twist that the shoe fit the stepmom.
I remember that part, and I was waiting for it.
Yeah.
I hated that shoe. It was so ugly, though.
Yeah, Brandy said in the 25th anniversary that those were the most uncomfortable shoes.
Like, why couldn't they have dipped it in like glitter or something at least?
Yeah, I kind of like the clear look of it. I don't know. I didn't see how it looked far away. I'm sure far away it looked a lot better than it did up close. And
it
glass.
looked like straight up plastic.
Yeah, I actually kind of liked the shoe. Just when I got like a glimpse, again, I had a puppy on my lap.
No, I looked at it hardcore and I'm like, that's the ugliest shoe I've ever seen.
And it looked kind of big.
Well, the thing is
her foot looked like it didn't go all the way in.
Yeah.
The thing is like, it looked like Tupperware plastic. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like pristine, crystal clear. Like, it was clearish, but it was obviously it has to like, I don't know. I just didn't care for the shoe. They could have, jazzed it up just a little bit.
Yeah, something.
So
they ran out of money. What can you say?
I mean, it's a glass slipper. It should sparkle or something. I don't know.
I think it's because all the other versions, the shoes are so fantastic that this one, it just kind of was like ho-hum. But yeah, that's all I had on the movie.
Yeah, I was also a little disappointed. There wasn't so much hoopla when Whitney was like transforming things. Like all of a sudden there's a pumpkin and then there's, the carriage.
Yeah.
I feel like there was much more fanfare in the other versions of transformations.
I will say in the Camila Cabello one. Oh God, what is his name? Billy Bobby Porter. I think that's his name.
Yeah, Billy Porter.
Yeah, Billy Porter. He was fantastic.
Loved him. Yes.
His was so like dramatic and just
so fabulous.
So fabulous.
He said he actually kind of referenced this movie with like Whitney Houston's version of The Godmother. He kind of picked a little bit.
Oh yeah,
from how she did it, how she portrayed it. So
you can tell that because that whole movie had this movie feel to it, and I think we talked about that.
Yeah,
when we were reviewing it, because we'd both seen this one.
The thing that made me mad though about the Camila Cabello version of it is you have a lot of talented singers and they decided not to do original songs, which I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know why it kind of bugged me that they were doing just, renditions of hit songs instead of kind of creating their own music for it, because I think they had the talent to do so. You had Camila, you had Billy Porter. I mean, James Corden does Broadway and stage. Yeah. So yeah, that kind of bugged me a little bit about that version.
What I enjoyed about it is that this is such a retold story that it was nice to have it was like a little surprise. Like, oh, I know what that song is, just like in Bridgerton. Like you hear a beat and you're like, what is that? And you're like, oh my God, I know what that is, Yeah. So I enjoyed the little surprise discoveries of the songs that they do. I was like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure on Bridgerton they had a song from The Weeknd, and I was like, I know this song. Why do I know this song? And it was like I think it was the first or second episode. And I was like, wait a minute, hold on. That's a real song. And I was like, what song is that? It was driving me
I actually haven't seen Bridgerton. But yeah, I know.
If you love this, you would love that. Because I feel like it's in that same feel. Especially the second season. That was my favorite so far.
Yeah, I will say, I didn't know how season 2 was going to top season 1.
It does.
But it does.
So, okay. So we're on a little tangent and I'm okay with it. So in the first Bridgerton, I won't tell you much that happens, but there's some, schmessy scenes in there. And it's hot, it's nice, it's great. I have never cared so much for a look in my life than I did on season 2 of Bridgerton. Just a look.
Yes.
Or the slightest touch or literally a breath. You're hanging on every single
interaction.
Breath. You're just like, oh my God, just
really
get together already. And it's just so, it sucks you in.
Yeah.
It is so good.
I haven't heard anybody say the second season is better than the first. That's interesting. That's, I guess, because your boy is not in it, right? In the second season?
No, he's not. He's
what's his name?
Stupid hot, but
Rage. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish he could have at least done because the wife just shows up for a moment.
But she won't be in season 3.
And I'm okay with that. Yeah. But we had a sprinkle of her. Mm-hmm. I would have liked at least one sprinkle of him. Maybe I'm going out of town and, he drops off the wife and kid and then takes off. Just give me a sprinkle.
Yeah.
So, but he's just not there.
But that's okay. You don't even realize that he's not there. Like these two.
Just the opening scene.
Yeah.
Why couldn't he have been just in the opening?
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude. Like half a day's work. Okay. You could have given me half a day's work.
It would have been nice to have him in there. But I as soon as the season started going, I didn't even notice he wasn't there. I loved the two of these people, and I am so excited for season 3. And if it sucks, I'm going to be so mad. Because
so now's the best time to catch up.
Yes,
when does season 3 come out?
It's so good. It should be pretty soon.
Oh, see, there you go.
Yeah.
I'll put it on my list. There's a lot of shows. There's so many shows. It's hard to keep up with. I'll throw it on my list.
Give yourself like a weekend because they're so quick. Like there's not a lot of episodes. They are kind of longish each episode, but there's only like 6 or 7. I don't know. There's not a lot. So good.
Okay, yeah. I might have to give it a look.
Yeah, it's good
for sure. Yeah,
so good. But anyways, any other parts of this movie that you love or hate or found interesting?
I mean, honestly, I just really did enjoy all the parts where Whitney Houston came in to sing.
Yes.
I mean, right? You're talking about the greatest voice of our time. Yeah, like that song still to this day is my favorite to hear. If I'm feeling down, pop that sucker in. Like the perfect person to be the fairy godmother. Like I wouldn't want to see anybody else.
She was perfect.
And what she did for that.
Yes.
And it's so funny because when she was actually supposed to be Cinderella, she was like, "Nah, my time's passed.
Yeah,
I'm too old. Let's get a little younger. Let's get Brandy." And then Brandy was, because she wasn't supposed to. Whitney was supposed to be in it. Brandy was like, "Well, I'll do it if you'll be my fairy godmother." So you have to thank Brandy for bringing it, letting Whitney come in to be the fairy godmother. But yeah, obviously the scenes where Whitney sings and makes an appearance and Brandy's was amazing, and I just so appreciative of that film because of all the things that it did. Like it literally was a film that kind of broke the barriers of, it was very multicultural. It just had so many people. They didn't care. They were just all about doing what they wanted to do. Didn't care, how people were going to, I guess, perceive it as far as, having such a diverse cast. Yeah. And I love that. And then it 1997 was just, that movie was everywhere and everyone was talking about it back then. So
yep.
Didn't win many awards, but it got some love at the Emmys, little nominations.
Yeah.
So just went back and saw that. I was like, okay, well, that's cool. But yeah, I mean, it's just musicals aren't my favorite genre, like at all, actually. But just that one really is one of my favorites, and it sticks with me.
What is your favorite genre of movies?
Man, it's tough. Honestly, I guess it really just depends on the mood that I'm in. My top would definitely be horror and action, though, for sure. I like horror movies right now have been top tier. Like I've been very pleased on the horror films that I've seen lately. So yeah, horror and action.
What's your favorite
sure. Like superhero
horror movie?
Ooh, horror movie, man.
Or franchise.
I do like, I would say franchise. Scream has definitely kind of jumped in there as one of my favorites.
Oh my God. We should get her and Grace to do Scream.
Yeah.
Because there's a new one coming out.
I'll be right back. You guys keep talking.
Yeah. There's this girl. Her name is Grace. She's over in the UK. She loves scary movies as well. And we did the new Scream with her. So obviously we're going to do the new one that comes out, and you should definitely, we should figure out how that might work to get us all on there. For
sure. Yeah. I've always liked the first one. And after the first one, like the second or third, they were okay. But I feel like when they, came back, revamped it in the fourth Scream movie, it really, I was like, oh man, I hope they can continue this. I hope they can continue this. Really interesting. I think it's interesting that they can take keep that same concept with this movie and keep it as successful as they have. Like we all know, like it's a ghost face trying to kill. It's going to be somebody that you already know, and yet we're still invested and we still keep watching, and they figure out ways to really keep the audience, and Usually you'll have to change storylines, but they don't. They keep the same storyline and they just somehow amped it up.
For me, it's going to be the Step Up movies, the way you're describing it. Because, like, it started off like the first one, the second one, they were good. Then the third one is like, well, we've seen the first two. Let's watch the third one. And then after that, they just kept releasing them whenever there was like nothing else out. And somehow my friend and I have just ended up seeing all of them. And at this point, we're just like, well, we kind of have to keep going, but I've been over it now for like a decade.
That's kind of how I feel about Fast and Furious movies.
See,
it's just like, come on, man, let's just wrap this up. This is the last one, so I'm just like, let's wrap it up.
Well, I'll say
y'all are just making them now.
For like Home Alone, I love the first two, and then the next one sucked, and then there was another one, and I never saw that one. But the newest one, we did watch it, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I couldn't bring myself to watch it.
It was actually pretty cute. It was cute.
Was it?
Yeah, it was better than the third one. Not as good as the first two, but I felt like it was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
After the second one, I didn't want to give it any mind because Macaulay Culkin's on the third one, right?
No.
It's like a whole new kid. Yeah,
it was a kid
I'm out.
Was home alone because he was sick from school. Mm-hmm. I remember seeing it, and I never saw the next one after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, after Macaulay Culkin was out, I was like, "Yep, I'm out of there too."
How did you get your interest into movies? Like, what was the movie that was like, "Oh my god, I must watch movies"?
It's crazy because I've been thinking about that like for the longest, and I'm like, there really wasn't a certain movie. I think it was just a certain like moment in my life when I was in college and taking summer classes, and I was down, I went to A&M Corpus Christi, and I was down there by myself basically for the first half of summer because all my friends went home and I stayed. And I was like, man, like I gotta do something to stay busy. I just ended up started really going to the movies, and I was just like, man, like I was just invested from there. I'm like, I just love that feeling. I just love going to the theaters.
Yes.
It's the whole experience. There's no experience like it. I've had some of my best experience in theaters. Like when the COVID happened, that like just struck me because no movies, I'm not a fan of going home and watching a movie. Like I would rather go to the theater and get that full experience. I feel like there's nothing like it. And since then, I'm just like, I've really invested in like the behind the scenes, the cast, the storyline, like what was the process to get this and this done. Like I just really started diving deep in films, the films that I was very much interested in. But I mean, also as a kid though, too, because as a kid, we used to watch movies. I went to daycare all the time as a kid. So we would have movie days at daycare. So we would pop a movie and all those kid movies growing up, I loved. And I just remember watching them at daycare and just sitting in front of the screen like, wow, this is cool. But it really happened to me when I was in college though, for sure. That's really where it took off.
Yeah.
But, man, I love them.
In college, I almost studied film. And then I was like, you know what? I love movies way too much to like pick them apart and, all of that. And now we have a podcast where we review movies.
Where you pick them apart?
But we pick them apart our own way,
Yeah, right.
We don't do it in a critique in class. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, I've always said I was like the people's critic. I feel like I like movies where the average viewer would like, not necessarily critics. Like I go to enjoy, but I also take from it what I can talk and discuss it and kind of be able to have a conversation with people about. But yeah, I kind of view myself as like a people's critic. Like I don't bash films and get all into depth like those critics do.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so many movies that really like make me sit back and just in awe. And we've talked about a few of them, but like one of them was Titanic. That was such an experience for me seeing that movie. And I never felt that again until I saw The Revenant, which April hasn't seen. So don't tell her anything about it if you've seen it.
Okay.
But it's very similar. And The Departed also. Martin Scorsese, apparently. I just really love him. But
I feel like you got a trend going here, but
I love Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, I heard y'all's Titanic episode. Yeah.
Yes. Like, it's that feeling where you're just so immersed. And we had that when we saw The Quiet Place too.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had popcorn and I was like eating it so quietly.
Yes. Like,
it's crazy how that happens.
I love going to the movie theater and I love eating popcorn at the movie theater. But as a kid, we never got to have like the popcorn and drinks and stuff because it was too expensive. So I was never used to doing that. If we got anything, it was a drink and that's all we were allowed to get. And so I love going with April because she always gets popcorn and I get to eat some with her.
That was part of our tradition. Like, you're going to get popcorn and drinks. I never really got the candy. My brother did, but yeah.
Yeah, we got popcorn and drinks, but we just brought them from home. We popped open these suckers. My mom popped that popcorn. She's like, pass it down, pass the bag down. Here's the soda. You hear the little can click. Oh, yeah. We still make sure we just wasn't spending money there. But back when you were saying about The Quiet Place, that was actually one of the craziest experiences, too. I mean, I was in a theater. I was at a studio movie grill. Actually, it was an early screen for it. a packed studio movie grill, and you could hear a pin drop.
Oh, yeah.
Like that. It's never that quiet in a studio movie grill.
That was a nice experience.
You were terrified. I was eating a brownie ice cream sundae. I was scared to like get the bowl. I'm like, I don't want like stuff like that. Experiences like that you can't get at home. Like you can't, even if you have your own little home theater. Like it's stuff like that because I've had a few like at all experiences for sure. But yeah, that experience itself actually always stuck with me too, because I actually love that movie too, and I'm a big John Krasinski fan.
Yes,
too, so, and Emily Blunt. So
the only time I can replicate that experience at home was when I saw Scream at home, and my phone rang when their phone rang, and it scared the crap out of me. And I was like, oh my God, yeah.
One thing I miss about theaters is the midnight shows.
Yeah.
When everybody is pumped and they start clapping and like they are excited for the film to begin.
Well, I think it's because we haven't had like those kind of movies. Like, you know how they'd have like a book with it and then, you know, you'd have a premiere, right? I think Divergent was probably like the last, or The Maze Runner was kind of like those last ones that was like really popular books that turned into movies.
I was thinking more of, I remember when I saw Mortal Kombat and when they yelled out, Mortal Kombat, everybody started woohooing and cheering. Like we were ready for it.
Yeah, like in Scream 2 when they're all going to see Stab.
I kind of want to see, like, I wish they really actually would do like a kind of a prequel, like Stab or something. Like, I feel like they should try to do that. I don't know. I think that'd be cool
like
to try
a side story.
Like a Stab movie. Yeah.
Show us the Stab movies.
Show us those Stab films. Yeah, I really want to see it.
That would be great.
They actually like went all out for those in the Scream movies too. Actually having like actors for that. I'm like, no, y'all got to do these movies now.
This next Scream movie looks so good. I'm so excited.
Yep,
it's
cannot
crazy.
Wait.
I'm kind of upset that Neve Campbell's not in it, but you know,
yeah,
it is what it is. But yep, I'm excited too. I can't wait. They're really doing a good job with it.
Yeah, we can't go to the movie theater or the drive-in. We got to go to the actual movie theater this time.
No, yeah.
So when the other one came out, it was still like COVID-y.
Yeah.
So we're like, let's try the drive-through. We haven't been to the one in Fort Worth. So we're like, let's check out Coyote Ugly or Coyote. The Coyote one. And it just wasn't a good experience. Not for a dark, scary movie.
Yeah. I mean, it was still good. It still hit right. But definitely it was a better experience than it was when me and my sister saw Batman.
That was super dark.
Because the movie's so dark. It was so hard to see. We're like, I can't see half of this.
The lighting isn't good for the drive-thru. It's not going to work out. We have a drive-thru out here in Ennis,
Yeah.
And I haven't been there since high school though. But the last drive-in I've been to, I was out in Oakland visiting a friend, and we actually went to go see Black Widow at the drive-in. So that was pretty cool.
So I grew up in Nebraska, and we had one in Iowa, and we would go there, and it was more secluded, and the way that the screen faced was away from the road. So you faced the road, but there were so many trees you really couldn't see the road when you're in there. So it was kind of like a forest of trees, and they cut out this one little area and put a stack stand and a screen. And so it's really dark, but the screen isn't dark. And we never had problems ever. But here it was so hard to see just all the time.
You have to have the right car too. Like it can't be showing up in a Honda Accord. Like, no, you need like a truck, like a F-150 to put back down. It's got to be nice weather. There's a lot of things that have to go right to go to a drive-in, in my opinion.
Yeah, because here you really can't go during the summer. I know people do. I don't know how they do it, but it's kind of hard.
Yeah, it's hot.
Well, this has been amazing. I'm so glad we got to talk about this movie.
Everything.
I do have one extra question, though.
Yeah, what's up?
Are you team Monica or team Brandy in The Boy Is Mine? Who gets the boy?
Oh, man. Are you going to spur that on me like that? Oh.
Or is
I want to say this because I met her and she's a sweetheart.
No.
I'm going to say I'm team Monica because I met her. Only because I met her.
So I will
say
say
I'm going to go with team Monica.
I have always liked Monica's lines better.
Yeah.
But my friend always got her lines, so I always do Brandy's lines when we do karaoke.
Monica had more attitude. She had more attitude with her lyrics in that song.
Yeah.
More attitude.
I told someone a couple months ago, I always said that Monica was the better singer, and my friend was like, no, Brandy's a better singer. And I was like,
it depends on their song.
I was like, she killed it. I say Monica killed The Boy Is Mine. But I think Brandy is great too. Like I said, I don't have a Monica CD, but I have a Brandy CD. So
yeah, I think they're just kind of two different. I feel like they're really hard to put it against each other in a way because I guess the way their voices are. Because like I said, Monica's voice, like she's got that southern like that strength behind hers, and Brandy's kind of like that sweet central type voice.
She has a silky voice.
It's tough. Yeah. So I think those are tough two people to put together. But hey, The Boy Is Mine is a classic. And
it's so good.
Yeah, I actually love that. Yeah, I love that song.
We went to karaoke like 2 weeks ago, or last week. Was last week?
2 weeks.
And we super enjoyed that song. We
didn't always get to a crowd favorite.
We're waiting. They sang it after we left.
Oh yeah.
Sad.
Oh, I said that would definitely get the crowd going.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Well, if people want to check out your reviews of movies, where can they find you?
Well, they can find me on Instagram, Twitter, at It's JJ On Air. I got a YouTube page with a couple of interviews up there. It's JJ On Air. Yeah, give me a follow. I'm always talking movies, posting some content, stuff like that. So.
And when you get those extra passes to go to early showings of movies, you're going to remember us, right?
You know I got you.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here.
It was nice meeting you.
Oh, you too. This was fun.
We forgot to rate the movie. I just remembered. What would you rate the movie?
Out of?
We do it out of 10.
Out of 10?
Yeah.
Ooh, Rodgers and Hammerstein, Cinderella. I'm going to give it a 7.
7 out of 10.
I'm going to give it a 7.
I'm going to have to agree.
7 out of 10.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm more of like a 5 out of 10.
It was because of the music for you. I know.
I just, that song
but
went
it's
on
Whitney
forever.
and Brandy.
I know. I love all
Whitney
of that.
And Brandy.
It was the music for me. I mean, not all the songs. I love some of the songs, but it's that one song that just goes on forever.
And that's my favorite song.
I just think it's like 10 minutes too long. It just.
But you have to think it was a Broadway turned into, into a movie. So I think the way they kind of probably shot it in that way as well, or, kept that in mind. So probably why a lot of those songs kind of drug on a little longer than it should have.
Or maybe the movie was too short and they're like, let's just keep this song going.
We got to add this. One more verse. Let's go.
Yeah. I think everybody's great. The music really just killed it for me.
Too much music.
Yeah. But I mean,
too much music in a musical. Damn.
We reviewed Cats, and the only good part of Cats was Jennifer Hudson. So, and I said the exact same thing about some of their songs too, that they just went on for so long.
That's one movie I refuse to see.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Just listen to our review.
That's a movie. Yeah, I refuse to see that movie. Yeah. Refuse.
Yeah, we were going to do musical March, and somehow it turned into musical February. So,
well, it's like we might as well just keep going.
Yeah,
yeah, just carry it all over.
Yeah.
There's plenty of musicals. Keep it going.
Well, all right. Well, thank you so much for being on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And let me know if you need me to come back. I'm down.
Yay.
For sure.
We'll have to have a big discussion about the next Scream movie.
Yes.
Because I think that one's going to need to be like a multi-part. It just, the trailer was so intense. I can't wait for the movie.
Man. Yeah.
So good.
Like he's just he's dodging bullets now. Like what?
It was just like, what?
Like, what are we doing?
He looked badass.
I mean, it's the 21st century now.
True. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. They're doing a great job with that. I don't know how much longer they're going to keep this franchise going, but they have not disappointed lately.
No.
So as long as they don't disappoint, I'm
do
cool.
it just far enough apart that they can really get it right. Like when they were doing it really close together, it started to kind of get a little much.
They ran out of ideas.
But the last three have been amazing.
Because wasn't between the first and the second one, was that only like a year apart or 2 years apart?
Yeah, something like that. I think it was about a year.
Maybe, or the first three. Because I remember after when 4 came out, and then it's like, because 4 came out in 2012?
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. Yeah, then the Faithful one was last year. So, I'm surprised they came out with this one so quickly, honestly. But
so good.
Yeah, that's good.
Strike while the iron's hot, I guess.
Yep, true. And they're advertising the hell out of it. Marketing's insane for this too. So, yep.
Well, all right, guys.
Can't wait.
Yay! Until next time.
Toodles.
Bye. This episode was produced by Two Chicks Talkin Flicks. Music was produced by Michael Girvani. If you like this episode, please like and subscribe. If you'd like to be a part of the show, have a movie suggestion, or just want to give us some love, you can email us at twochickstalkinflicks@gmail.com. Thanks, guys. Toodles.